all this sad. You know what I mean? Be like, I'm missing that for life. Missing that for life. Oh my God, for life, nigga, this is blood. Yo, my rock. They go play for you, my nigga. Huh. And so the road. The world turning its back on me. I'm a privilege. We got soldiers, he got soldiers, but I got different ones. They hell with that, I tell you what. Don't pray for nothing. We can't forgive us for being remain in the trip. What's in the Lord, so please give me for the times that I feel if rain is given. I don't respect you, don't pray. He brought you to the state, he's no peace, try to pick up with a laughing. They say everything they make is up. Trying to pull my time share. The devils and clan they hunt you like grandparents. But they don't get it out the days that you fight. Or if you think that don't fit the bandit, try to deal death to a priest. You won't make it out in front of you. So you can stay. You can show you got the heart. Say your things 3 times. It is death to his heart. So how you feel about the truth about the show? You say it like you think that I should roll out. Even your own people go show. When my Lord said they hate you for my name, that you better keep it on. Ain't no more kiss, ain't no more question. Make sure my listen till I'm tucked away like Jones said. Murder for Colorado, murder at the shop. The world's in the making, we like fucking rain. I feel those up there, I ain't ready to go out. We keep it mercy in his life, I don't know why. It's most folks never try to. They say I'm a brother, be dead, so I don't look forward to look like this. But they like, how you stay focused? I told you for motivated since you do my niggas. Brotherhood, the weapons still got weapons on the street. And I never do my niggas like Christians here right here. Never mind, don't believe, they under MC. So they say she really said she wanted to let that love go. So that is that love broke. But if I please with my bed, that's a fair. So, how you feel about this truth about the show? You take it like you think this nigga, I should want. Even your own people go to talk. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Take that.
All right, let's go ahead and clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. All right, Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. Today is the Tuesday Brotherhood class. We're talking about you got to choose one. Understand this. You can't serve 2 gods. You can't serve 2 masters. You can't sit here and pick and choose what you want to do. You can't stay on that fence. Understand this, staying on that fence makes you lukewarm. Not knowing who you want to serve, not knowing what you want to do, not knowing if you're going to serve the Lord or if you're going to live the life that you feel like living. Understand this, you are lukewarm. You have to choose one. Let's go to Luke 16. Let's start off with verse 13. Once you get there, let me know. Because the world that we're living in right now, and this is the craziest thing, it's so easy for you to choose to live the life that you feel like living over following the law, statutes, and commandments. Why? Because you have been trained and taught since a young age to be a hypocrite. Hypocrites was what was taught to you. To sit here and say, I want to do this, but because, you know, we all fall short of the grace of God, oh, it's okay for me to not follow through with my word. That's what we've been taught. And that's the problem, man. You can't sit here and say, I love the Lord, but I love pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. You can't sit here and say, I love the Lord, but yet I want to be a whore. You can't say, I love the Lord, but yet I want to smoke and do whatever I feel like. I want to go get drunk. I want to sit here and not take care of none of my responsibilities. I don't want to sit here and keep none of the high holy days. What I want to do is celebrate birthdays. What I want to do is celebrate Christmas. what I want to do is celebrate Thanksgiving, even though that's the mass murder of your brothers and sisters. You want to know what? I don't want to serve the Lord. I want to go celebrate Easter, where there's a bunny laying eggs. Understand this, man. You got to choose one. It's either the Lord or this world. Go ahead and read once you got it.
This is Luke chapter 16, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
No servant can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other.
Understand this, you can't serve two masters. Somebody is going to get neglected. If you try to put two gods right here, somebody is going to get neglected. Because you're going to love one more than you love the other one. Keep reading.
Or else he will hold the one and despise the other.
Keep going.
Or else he will hold to them,
right,
and despise the other.
Understand this, man. When you got two things that's fighting for first place, one got to get first place. And see, like I said, since birth, we was taught to be hypocrites. So what do you think is going to come first? What makes us happy or what puts us under a law? Everybody's going to go for what makes me happy. Why? Because whatever makes me happy doesn't take me having to sacrifice. It doesn't take me having to sit here and lose something behind it. Most people, what makes them happy is to do what? Whatever they feel like. So for people that's having a hard time, if what makes them happy is to do drugs, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
They're going to do drugs. For brothers and sisters who are whores, what makes them happy? Sleeping around. For people that loves crawfish, what do they wait for? They wait for the crawfish boils because that's what makes them happy, right? So at the end of the day, they're going to do whatever makes them happy over what's going to keep them safe. See, them laws, statutes, and commandments puts you under a structure. And we don't like structure. We want to throw and we want to destroy all structures that we have in our life. See, but the thing about it is we follow the structures of our enemies, though. If our enemies say, if you do this, these are the consequences behind it, then we don't want to do that. When we at their job, if their boss says, if you take a 2-hour lunch or if you take an hour lunch and you know you only got 30 minutes, I'm going to fire you. What do our people do? They take that 30-minute lunch. Why they take that 30-minute lunch? Fear of getting fired. That's the craziest part about it. They're going to only take that 30-minute lunch because what? They know for a fact, the boss man done already said, if I take more of a 30-minute lunch, then I can get fired. Man, I ain't trying to get fired. I ain't trying to lose my job because of this and that. So why don't you feel the same way when it comes down to following the law, statutes, and commandments? See, you will serve the master that pleases you. You don't serve the master that you have to please. You will rather be a selfish person than a selfless person. Because I'm going to be real with you. Following the law, statutes, and commandments makes you selfless. You can't be selfish and follow the law, statutes, and commandments. You can't be selfish and be a worker for the Most High. You have to be selfless because everything that you do is not for you. It's for others. Why do you think the men in the I.S.U.P.K, we go on those food drives? Is it for us? No, it's not for us. It's for the brothers and sisters that don't have food. But if we always choose to be about ourselves, putting that master of selfishness over the Most High God, then when are we ever going to do anything? I'll never do any work if I chose to put the master of selfishness over the Most High God. Because that means I could be at home. Oh, I don't have to do nothing. I can go to sleep. Oh, go take food to a food drop. For what? Understand this, man. You cannot serve two masters, because you're going to hold on to one and you're going to despise the other. There's a lot of masters that y'all choose over the Most High God. And y'all fail to realize that the Most High is a jealous God. He done told you multiple times, don't put no other God before him. Let's go to Exodus 34 and 13. We're going to start at verse 13. The Most High God told his chosen people, the 12 tribes of Israel, to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. Why? Because if you hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God will put you above all nations, all these other nations on the face of this earth, because you were his chosen people. He gave that to you to do. And just doing those simple things will put you above all nations on the face of this earth. But instead of doing that, we decided to fall for the snares and for the traps. Go ahead and read once you got it.
Exodus chapter 34, verse 13. But ye shall destroy their altars, break their images, and cut down their groves.
Understand this, man. Our job as the 12 tribes of Israel, we are supposed to destroy their altars. What altars are we talking about? See, in the world that we live in right now, they have set all these things above the Most High. You got the Islams, you got the Buddhists, you got the conscious communities, you have all these other things. You got the Catholics and Christianity. All these altars and all these images are over the Most High right now. Everybody is celebrating and everybody is cleaving onto all these other things and all these other doctrines instead of following what the Most High God had for you. We are supposed to destroy these things. We are supposed to tear them down and cut them down. You want to know why? Keep reading. 14.
For thou shalt worship no other God, for the Lord, whose name is jealous, is a jealous God.
Understand this, man. All these other gods that this world has brought to us since birth, understand, they are going against the one true God, the Most High God. And what did he just say? He says, you shall worship no other God but him. But yet, that's what we do. That's what we do. On a daily basis, we choose to worship all these other gods. See, you don't got to think that these other gods got to be these big old things. Nah, man. There's these little small gods that you worship as well. Why do you think that instead of following the law, statutes, and commandments, you rather roll up weed and smoke it? And you worship Mary Jane, because that's your main thing. She's never left you. She's always there when you need her to calm your nerves. Yeah, that's the God that you're choosing above your God. And you don't understand that he's a jealous God. So you keep choosing that over him, and you wonder why all of a sudden now people are getting that fentanyl in that marijuana. You keep choosing the God of alcohol. You want to drink alcohol until you pissy drunk, and you don't even know what you did. You don't even know what you did the rest of the night, because everything is such a blur. You're choosing all these other gods. You sitting here going to these churches where they're teaching you to worship a what? They're teaching you to choose a what? Caucasian Jesus, dude that had the stringy hair. They're telling you one moment that it's not okay to be an alternative lifestyle member, and the next thing they're letting you have a marriage ceremony in their churches. What God are you following? You can't be following the Most High that sat here and said that don't put no other God before him, and what he said was an abomination unto himself. You shouldn't be doing. But you want to know why? It's because of this. Go to Hosea. Matter of fact, no, drop that. Let's go to Amos 5:21. Let me tell you what your God said. Let me just show you some other things that you're not supposed to do. Once you have it, go ahead and read for me.
Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
Understand this, man. We are not supposed to be celebrating holidays. We have high holy days that we are supposed to keep and observe them and do them, right? You are choosing other gods when you are celebrating these pagan holidays. For instance, birthdays. Who's the god of birthdays?
You are.
Why?
Because celebration unto yourself, everybody come pour out, showering gifts and food unto you.
Right. What happens on birthdays?
Everybody, the person whose birthday girl or dude, they get messed up. They get that basically they get to be the king for the day.
They the king and queens of the day. And then you know what happens all the time? They sit here and say, you know what? Ain't nobody, oh, you gonna do this on my birthday? My birthday's about me. So if I decide I want to go out there and run up a tab of $2,000 because it's my birthday, y'all supposed to pay the tab. I shouldn't have to pay nothing at all. I should be able to just come and enjoy myself. Y'all supposed to bring me gifts. Y'all, you know what? Matter of fact, it's not my birthday. It's my birthday week or my birthday month. Celebrate me for the whole month. While they're celebrating you for the whole month, are they celebrating the Most High? Because at the end of the day, are you focused on the Most High or are you focused on yourself? So you're putting yourself above the Most High. And you wonder why he say, I hate and I despise your feast days. And I won't smell in your solemn assemblies. He also said, don't put no other God before him. Y'all think that it has to be Zeus or any of these, or it could be something as small as you celebrating a birthday. You celebrating a birthday is putting yourself over the Most High. Because every single day, what are you supposed to do? You are supposed to do his works every single day. When you wake up, what are you, Yakabad? When you wake up, are you a priest?
Okay.
What are you supposed to do every day as a priest? The work of the Lord, right? If you chose to not be a priest for a day, you chose to sit here and be a drunkard, are you doing the Most High's work?
Wow.
So who are you choosing that day?
Choose yourself.
You're choosing yourself, which means whose work doesn't get done?
Lord's work doesn't get done.
And that's as simple as it is. Every single day, you know, as a priest or as a sister, that what you are supposed to be is a light unto this world. You are supposed to follow what the Most High told you to do. Is being a light in darkness, so that way whose works can be shown through you?
Lord's.
The Lord's work can be shown through you. How can the Lord's work be shown through you when you are telling everybody, celebrate me? Look at me. I am the God for the day. This is who you should follow. This is who you should sing to. This is who you should bring liquor to and bring all these things and gifts to. How can you serve the Most High and you doing that? You have to choose one. How are you doing that if you're celebrating Christmas? Because what do they say Christmas is? What does the Christian church say that Christmas is? It's Jesus' birthday. Is it Jesus' birthday?
Nah.
Does Jesus celebrate birthdays?
Nah.
So there's a lot of things that you are already lying about because that's not Jesus' birthday. And he don't even celebrate birthdays. So why are you celebrating something that he didn't even celebrate? And you're supposed to be a Christian, which means that you are Christ-like. You're putting yourself and your own thoughts over what the Bible is telling you. The Bible is telling you these feast days that you want to, these feast days that you want to have, the Lord not with it. Christ wasn't with it. You're choosing other gods because your God, the Most High God, as Commander General YAHANNA say, the nigger God, didn't ask for you to celebrate birthdays. Didn't ask for you to celebrate Valentine's Day. Because what happens during Valentine's Day? What is a man's job to do during Valentine's Day? To worship his woman. And then you want to know what's crazy? After Valentine's Day, do you know what the next day is called? Anybody know what the next day is called after Valentine's Day? Side chick day. So whoever wasn't your main chick gets taken out on Valentine's Day. The side chick gets taken out the next day. It is crazy. You want to know why? Because that's not how things are supposed to be. There's no main chick and side chick. If you're having sex with two different women, both of them are your wives. But you so caught up in what this world done taught you, have a main chick, a side chick, you got a whole roster of females. And you don't care about none of them. But you want all of them to treat you like a what? A king. And intel, you want them to all treat you like a what? A Lord, a God. So Valentine's Day is putting other people before the Lord. Christmas is putting other things and other people before the Lord. See, in these Catholic church and in the Christian church, what are they doing? They're saying, the Lord said do this. But at the same time, what are they doing in the background? The opposite. You got to figure out what you want to do. You have to choose it. And you have to focus in on that. You can't do two different things. You can't serve two different masters. Because you're going to love one and hate the other. You're going to hold on to one and despise the other. Because the God of this Bible, he says, love not the world, neither the things that are in this world. Because if you love the world, then the love of the Father is not in you. So how can you love everything that's going on in this world? You love sitting here and going to clubs and getting messed up to the point where you throwing up and got to get carried out, or you going to these clubs, you sitting here getting drunk, now you fighting in the clubs and all this stuff. You sitting here selling drugs in your community. You're unaliving people left and right based off of small things. You're loving everything that this world has to offer you, but then you say that you love God. You can't say it. There's no way that you can do that. He doesn't know your heart when he's sitting and watching your actions. We all know that love is an action. It's not what you just say, it's what you do. I can sit here. If love was just words, right? That means I can sit here and walk up to someone and punch them in their face and say, I love you. Hit you dead in your mouth. I love you. I love you. Bam. Is that love? Like you got to understand the action behind love is shown through your works. If I say I love God, then I'm going to do everything I can to do his will. That's putting nobody above him. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 10 and 21. Once you got it, Baba Kasha read. We have to choose one. We have to decide, what are we going to do? Are we going to serve the Most High? Or are we going to serve these other gods? Are we going to serve the Most High? Or are we going to serve ourselves? Which one are we going to choose? Which one are we going to do? Because you can't do both. Go ahead and read.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 21. Ye should not drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils.
Keep going.
You should not partakers, you cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils.
Understand this, man. The Bible is plain and simple. You can't sit here and drink of the cup of the Most High saying that I'm going to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, but then you follow deceivers. Because that's what devils are. Devils are what? Deceivers. People that tell you one thing, but they're not what they seem. Okay, so we don't understand that when we're following devils, that they're devils, that they're demons. You want to know why? Because we was taught that devils have the little horns and the tail. Demons look like monsters and all that, and they gruesome, and like that's what we were taught, that demons and devils were, right? We don't understand that a devil is a deceiver. See, there's multiple different devils. You just don't know that they're devils because you're looking for a monster. But you not understand that these deceivers come in different clothes. They come in different looks. Understand this. We got plenty of them. Let's talk about, we could talk about your pastors. We could talk about your ministers. We could talk about your celebrities, and we could talk about your friends. All these people can be different devils. And then you have the biggest devil of them all, your oppressor. And that's who you are following behind. You cannot sit here and say that you love the Lord and you're going to follow his law, statutes, and commandments, but yet you're doing the will of your father, who is the devil, who is the biggest deceiver on the face of this earth. Your oppressor has taught you to do everything against what the Bible is telling you to do. Your oppressor taught people that look just like you to teach you how to disobey your God. Your oppressor has schools to teach them this. Why do you think in churches, we all grew up in churches? We can be honest. How many times have you seen things that were hypocritical in churches? A lot. Like, if we're going to go based off of the word, the Bible says that if you are a man that lays down with mankind as you would a woman, you are an abomination unto the Lord, right? All right. How many times have you seen a choir director at those churches that you know for a fact is a tambourine player, an alternative lifestyle member? How many times have you seen that in these churches? But the churches are supposed to be what? The house of what?
House of the Lord.
The house of the Lord. That's what these churches are supposed to be, the house of the Lord. So should they allow an alternative lifestyle member to be one of the leaders of the churches?
Wow.
How many times in these places have we seen predators be there? There's grown men and grown women that prey on the children at these places, at these churches, at these Catholic churches as well. Are they supposed to be there? Because they're supposed to be called out on what they are doing. Because you know that they're there. Do you know how many churches done covered up some deacons or pastors that done tried to mess with other people in the church? Do you know that they done had so many different altar boys that done came up and told their stories about what happens in those Catholic church when they're dealing with those priests in those churches? You cannot sit here and say that I'm going to drink of the cup of the Most High God, but yet I'm going to still do the things that the devil's told me I can do. Why do you think that these celebrities that we done put in high places, why do you think that they're being knocked down? Because they had an opportunity to do what? They had an opportunity to serve and do what they were supposed to do with the Most High. You know, if you go back and watch a bunch of these celebrities, when they first get into the game, what do they acceptance speeches say? First thing, I want to thank God because without him, I wouldn't even have this award. You know, he looked out for me and my family. I want to thank my team. I want to thank everybody. But, you know, if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't have this. A couple years later, what's that acceptance speech? What is it missing?
God.
It's missing God. You want to know why? Because he chose a different God over the Most High God. He chose to drink of the cup of devils over God. All these things is right here in our faces, but we're blind to it. We act like we don't see it. We act like we don't know what's going on. Go to Colossians 2:8. This is things that people need to understand. You got to beware. The Bible tells you to watch out for those things. Because again, you can only have one God. Somebody has to be on the back burner. Everybody can't be in the forefront. Go ahead and read.
This is Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world.
Understand this, man. Beware. See, this is how you know if you're dealing with somebody that chooses the Most High God or chooses themselves. Because if you read what the Bible says, but what they're saying doesn't line up, you know who they chose. And you have to open your eyes to it. You can't sit here and be oblivious to it. You can't sit here and be green. If somebody that you go get counsel from, you go get counseling from them people, and you are trying to fix a marriage, and in the counseling session, they're telling you, you know what? At this point, it just seems like this marriage won't work. It seems like we've done everything that we can, but you and Billy, y'all just aren't seeing eye to eye. So I think it might be time for y'all to either find someone else or just call it a quits, because at the end of the day, you have to love yourself. You have to love yourself more than you love your partner who is destroying you. What is that person doing? They're making you feel good. They're making you be like, you know what? You're right. You're right. I done did 20 years with Billy, and he doesn't make me happy. He has always neglected my needs and my wants and my thoughts. You know what? You're right. See, I need a man that's going to sit here and do what the Lord told, the Lord told him, which was put me first, because it's happy wife, happy life. Beware of those people. Beware of those. Because we all know with marriages, you got to endure to the end. All marriages are not happy. All marriages aren't just peaches and creams and we're skipping in and looking at rainbows and in the clouds. And nah, these marriages, it comes with work. It comes with hardship. And you got to beware of those people that want to sit here and tell you what you want to hear, because they are deceiving you. And they're telling you to do things off of the traditions of men and the rudiments of this world. You got to beware of those friends that give you all this great advice. You got this single friend, she can't never keep a man, but she telling you how a man should treat you. Right. You got this partner that just, I'm talking about that boy is a smash artist. That boy just smash and dash. And he telling you, hey man, if your girl ain't like this, man, bro, you don't need her. Hey man, the streets is calling us, man. We can be street sweepers, sweeping up all the. Beware of those people, man. Beware of those people that's telling you, you know what, hey man, look, man, I know you need some extra cash. I know you need some money, man. Look, man, I got this A-ball. Let me see what you can do with this A-ball right here. And then, we can talk after that. Oh, you know what? Hey man, I'm gonna start you small, man. I'm gonna give you half a key. I'm gonna front you. Yeah, I'm gonna front you a QP. You know what? Nah, I ain't gonna do a QP. I do a zip. I'm gonna front you a zip, and then you make your bread, and I just need this much out of it. Beware of those people. Beware of those people that's sitting here trying to force drugs upon you. Beware of those people that tell you that you can eat whatever you feel like eating. You can sit here and do whatever you feel like doing because you only got one life to live. Beware of those people. You want to know why? Go to Matthew's 7 and 15. Matthew 7 and 15. Once you got it, just go ahead and read for me.
This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 15. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves.
You got to beware of those people. You got to beware of those prophets. Because you know what? Everybody feel like they are a prophet or a prophetess when they in this world. They feel like, you know what? The Lord told me to tell you this. Everybody is a prophet in the world. But beware of those people. You want to know why? Because they're wolves in sheep's clothing. Ravening wolves. You want to know something? A wolf that's in sheep's clothing, what are they trying to do? They're trying to deceive you, right? A wolf in sheep's clothes is preying on the sheep, right? Because they're trying to wait for their time to do what? To attack, right? It's just like pimps. So you got to look at it like this. You got pimps, pastors, and celebrities. Those are just a couple just named off the bat that are wolves in sheep's clothing. Pimps. What do pimps do? Now, let me tell you something. A pimp will sit here and groom. They groom women from young ages. See, if a pimp is around long enough, if you allow a pimp around your household and your families, because I'm going to be honest with you, in every household I've ever known, at least one person in their household is a pimp. There's pimps in every household. And what are they doing? They're grooming. They're finding they women that they know for a fact, I can speak soft to her. I can sit here and tell her, hey, listen here, baby. If you sit here and do this, and this for me, and you go ahead and work this corner for me right here, and you bring back this money, I'll make sure I take care of you. Yeah, I understand you on the streets right now, baby, but I got a home for you. But you got to do a little work for me. Yeah, it ain't nothing too major. I just have you work for me. You know, you'll just do a quick little shift for me every now and then, but I'll make sure that you're fed. I'll make sure that you got somewhere to wash yourself. You know, you got shelter and all this. That's the same thing that it seems like your pastors is doing too, right? Because what is your pastor? Hey man, come on in the church house. You know, go ahead and pay all your tithes and your offering to the church, you know, because the church, we got a building fund, and you know what the building fund is for, right? It's to make sure that we have everything here that you would need. So if anytime you need something, you can always come to the church, ask for it, and we'll do something for you. Your smooth talking pastors done pimped your grandma out of her goddamn Social Security check for how many years now? They went from pimping prostitutes to pimping old people and pimping you in the church house. But you are following these people because what? You don't know what to look for. It says in Hosea, let me get it real quick. It says it in Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because they have rejected knowledge, I will reject thee, also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that thou hast forgotten thy law, the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. We don't have knowledge because we're all too busy looking in the wrong places. See, here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, the truth is here. If you want to know what's not going to make you feel good, because let me tell you something, this truth is a hard pill to swallow. You're not going to come in here and just be okay with everything that's being said to you. You're not going to be okay with finding out that you can no longer celebrate birthdays, that you can no longer sit here and drink and get drunk. You can't no longer roll up and smoke weed. You can no longer be a whore. You can no longer be a whoremonger. You can no longer be a drug dealer. You can no longer be a murderer. If you were somebody that was an alternative lifestyle member, you can no longer be that person. See, here in the I.S.U.P.K, you have to change. Because if you don't change, you're not going to last long. Because here, you have to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Here, you got to do what the Most High said for you to do. You got to become a light in a world full of darkness. That's why that scripture says that you cannot sit here. It says in 1 Corinthians 10:21, ye cannot drink of the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. You got to choose what side you want to be on. You cannot sit here and say, I follow the law, statutes, and commandments, but yet you're doing the same thing you did when you was in the world. You can't do that and celebrate birthdays. You can't do that and be a drug abuser and a drug user and a drug dealer. You can't do that and still be a murderer or an unalive. Salaki. You have to change. You have to change your life. If you are not willing to do that, then you will never drink out of the cup of the Most High. You'll just keep drinking out of the cup of who? Devils. Who is your God? That's your God. Right now, if you are choosing the world, if you are choosing going to strip clubs, if you are choosing sitting here and prostituting women, if you are sitting here choosing to be a prostitute, if you are choosing to do all these things that the Most High never had for you to do, then you are drinking out of the cup of devils. Because your God told you to be what? Royal, set apart. He told you to be holy. He told you to follow him, follow the law, statutes, and commandments. You have to choose one. You have to choose a side. You can't keep being lukewarm. You can't choose that on Saturday, be a hoe. Sunday, I'm holier than thou. You can't choose that. You can't do that. If you are on the fence, you are choosing another God over yours. You can't straddle the fence, because while you're straddling the fence, you already chose what you wanted to do. You have to make a choice and stick with that choice. Because I'm gonna tell you now, when you come into the I.S.U.P.K, once you choose God, once you choose to be a priest, a prince or a princess of the Most High God, and you give that oath, you get that oil poured on your head, bro, it's nothing else for you to do besides serve the Lord until the day you die. If you decide to go back to the world, understand this, you will be destroyed completely. It's been so many people that left this truth and went right back to the world, and what was the first thing that they did? For men, they got haircuts, they got the edge ups. I'm talking about with the crispy line up. They started smoking weed again. You could see the demon that just hopped onto them. Legion just came onto them and just clamped on. You done seen sisters leave the truth and go back into the world, and now she has multiple husbands. Now she's a walking STD cocktail. Burning, scratching, and itching all at the same time. She can't even wear tampons because the crabs is jumping off like they bungee jumping off the string. Because she decided to go back into the world after she chose the Lord. You have to choose one. And stick with it. Because you can't waver. You can't be lukewarm. Because what the Bible says about being lukewarm, he's going to do what? He's going to spew you out. Let's go to Let's go to 1 Timothy 6 and 9. 1 Timothy 6 and 9. Once you got it, go ahead and read for me. This is something else that we have to watch out for. We talked about pimps. We talked about your pastors and your ministers. Now we're going to talk about your celebrities who you want to be so much like. Every female want to be like Meg Thee Stallion, Glorilla, Beyonce, Carisha. Everybody want to be like SZA. Everybody want to be like all these women want to be like all the men. They want to be like who? They want to be like the ballers. They want to be like the dope dealers that got on the chains and they got on all this stuff. But look what the Bible says. Go ahead, read. No, 1 Timothy 6 and 9.
But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare.
Understand this. All y'all people that want to be like all these celebrities that you see, all these people that have all this money and put on a pedestal, right? Understand this. For you to become rich, or for you to be like the rich, you are going to fall into a what?
A snare.
And also a what? Fall into what?
And into many foolish and hurtful lusts.
You are going to fall into temptations, snares, and many foolish lusts and hurtful lusts. Like, you're not just going to be rich in this world and not going to have to sacrifice something. Why do you think all these celebrities then got to the point where they are so quickly? Because they had to do something for it. And every time we turn around, we start seeing more and more stuff that done popped off. And now what? All these stars that we had are starting to fall. Everybody done did something that they are ashamed of, and now they're having to deal with the consequences of it now. They done did it about 30 years ago. Some people done did it 10 years ago. Some people done did it 5 years ago. And now, whatever they did in that dark day is now coming to the light. You keep putting these people on a high pedestal when the Lord told you don't put no other God before him. You keep putting all these celebrities up over the Lord. Oh, you want to be like them so badly. Okay. Let me show you the things that this person had to do. Yeah, let me go ahead and bring it to the forefront. Because you don't understand what all this person had to do. See, this person didn't know that I knew that they did all these things. But you know what? Since you want to be like them so badly, you know what? I'm going to give you the leeway. I'm going to go ahead and give you enough rope to hang yourself about it. But understand this. Like the Bible said, it says, but they that will be rich fall into temptations and snares and into many foolish and hurtful lusts. Keep reading.
Which drown men in destruction and perdition.
Keep going.
Verse 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil.
Understand this, man. If you love that dollar, that almighty dollar, so much, understand this, you are going to do some real evil stuff. You're going to deal with a lot of hurtful lust. You're going to fall into snares and traps. Because what? You're going to do whatever it takes to get a dollar. You don't care who you had to step on. You don't care what you had to do. You don't care who it hurt at the end of the day. Why do you think a lot of people get unalived? Do you know how many times drug dealers get unalived or get robbed at gunpoint? Why? Because somebody wants what they have. Celebrities that get robbed, why are they getting robbed? Somebody wants their chain. Somebody wants all the millions of dollars worth of jewelry that they have. You have to be mindful of those things, right? You can't sit here and say that I serve the Most High God, but yet I want to serve the almighty dollar as well. It doesn't work like that. Because to do what it takes, a lot of people that sit here and say that they serve God, you want to know why they're not rich? Because to serve the Most High, again, I said it already, you have to be selfless, right? There's plenty of people that had a bunch of money that's in the I.S.U.P.K, and when their brother and their sister needed it, they gave it to them. And they didn't ask for nothing in return. They didn't look for it to come back. They just did what they had to do to help their people. You can't sit here and stay up on a high pedestal and be a servant in the same, you can't do it in the same sense. You want to know why? Because if you are a true servant of the Most High, the higher you are, the more of a servant you are. That's something we learned as priests in the I.S.U.P.K. Like everybody wants to be a general. Like everybody wants to be Commander General YAHANNA until it's time to have to do what Commander General YAHANNA does. Everybody want to be a General Mahaiman until you have to do the thing that General Mahaiman does, which is answer his phone all the time and counsel. Everybody wants to be the generals until it's time to put in the work. Everybody want to be a captain, but they don't want to have to do what a captain does. The higher your rank is, the more of a servant you are. If you are a follower of Christ. But if you are a follower of yourself, the higher you are, the more selfish you are. I don't want to help nobody. I want to do what I want to do. You cannot sit here and say that you are a servant of God, but yet you don't do nothing for him. You don't do your works. Where's your works that prove that you choose the Most High God over everything else? If your works don't show, then you're lying. Keep reading.
Verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
For the love of money is root of all evil, which while some covet after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows.
With many sorrows, man. People love money so much, they want to hold on to it. And they start finding new ways to get money, and they don't understand that they're pushing themselves away from the Most High more and more. You got to watch out for those things. You got to be aware of those things. You need to be mindful. Let's go to James 2 and 3.
This is James chapter 2, verse 3. And ye have respect to him that weareth gay clothing, and some unto say unto him, sit thou here in a good place, and say to the poor, stand out there, or sit here under my footstool.
Understand this, man. People are choosing other gods over the Most High. Like, you have gotten to the point where you are choosing devils. You're choosing deceivers. You are putting them above the law, statutes, and commandments. How? Okay. The people that are alternative lifestyle members, right? They have more rights than Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians right now. They get more breaks than what we get. They have respect for those people to the point where they have them on every TV show you see. Every show that you see on TV right now has an alternative lifestyle member in it. They put those people in high places. Why? Because they're pushing what agenda? Not the Lord's agenda, but the world's agenda. And right now, the world's agenda is to do what? To push homosexuality, to push the alternative lifestyle. But you know what? You have respect for those. You feel like, you know what? For those people that then came out the closet and all that, you respect them. You have respect for those people. You don't have respect for those that sit here and say, this was my land before y'all even came over here and took it from us. So how are you going to tell me to go across the border when this was my land? Oh, you want to deport the Mexican, the Hispanic brothers and sisters. Oh, you want to deport the Haitian brothers and sisters. You want to sit here and tell the Native Indian people stay on your reservations, because if you come off your reservations, ain't nothing out here for you. When this was their land, this was their property. But you have respect for those alternative lifestyle people. You tell them, you know what, come sit right here in these high places. And you know what? You 12 tribes of Israel that don't want to follow the world and what the world has to give you, y'all know what? Y'all become the footstool. Sit right here and lean over so that way I have a place to put my feet. And this is only happening because we don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments. We want to sit here and be joined with these oppressors. We want to sit here and be joined with these people who want nothing but to destroy us. The people that are sitting here telling us that it's okay to disobey your father. Your father told you, I don't want you to do these things. And if you listen to me, I'll put you on high. But if you don't listen to me, I'm going to discipline you and you'll be at the bottom and everybody will be over you. And what did we decide to do? We thought the grass was greener on the other side. So we hopped the fence, not knowing that now there's barbed wire on the fence. So now if you want to get back over to serve your God, now you got to go through some stuff. When you hopped over the fence, it was just a regular little fence you could hop over and it wasn't nothing. You know, it was very easy to hop over that fence and choose the other side. But see, now when you want to go back and serve your God, now I got barbed wire. Now this fence got a little electricity on it. Now all of a sudden you got to go through some things to get back to your God. Because what? It was just the grass was greener over there. It's crazy that it's so easy to serve other gods, but it's so hard for our people to choose the Most High God, their God, and do his will. Keep reading. Should be at verse 4. James 2 and 4.
James 2. Are ye not partial in yourselves, and are become judges of evil thoughts?
Keep going.
Verse 5. Hearken, my beloved brethren, hath not God chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom which he hath promised them? It's like he promised to them that love him.
Understand this. When it says the word hearken, right? It's telling you to listen. It's talking about, it says, hearken, my beloved brethren, right? That has not God chosen the poor of the world, rich in faith. It says, listen, don't you understand that the Most High God has chosen you poor? See, just because you're poor when it comes down to wealth doesn't mean that you're poor when it comes down into faith. Just because I don't have a lot of money right now doesn't mean when my Father comes back and the kingdom is to come that I'll be in this same state. I'm doing all this work for my Father so that way when he comes back, I can have many mansions in the kingdom. I want many crowns. So stop worrying about trying to be liked in this world and doing the things that this world has accepted, and do what your Father told you to do. Because doing those things, even though you might be poor, when it comes down to this world, it'll make you rich in the kingdom. Keep reading.
Verse 6. Verse 5, which he had promised to them that love him. Verse 6, but ye have despised the poor. Do not the rich men oppress you and draw you before the judgment seat?
Understand this. You are choosing the wrong path. Like I said, you have to choose one, but you are choosing the wrong path. You're choosing the people who sit here and turn their noses up at you. They despise you. They despise the poor. They despise you because at the end of the day, you're not better than them in their eyes. You're choosing them and you're trying to go before them to try to be like in their courts, and you not realizing that you have always been better than them. They're putting you in front of them. They're looking at you like, oh, you want to be a part of us? You want to be rich like us? Why you think we should help you get rich? Why you think we should put forth effort to bring you in? Like, these are the people that you are choosing to love. You are choosing them over your God, when your God just told you to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. If you follow his laws, statutes, and commandments, then you're golden. You're good. He'll put you before everybody. He will make your enemy your footstool. He will be an adversary unto your adversaries. He'll be an enemy to your enemies. The only thing you have to do is follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. But instead, you rather sit here and be put in a judgment seat by people that really aren't worth it. Because you don't know who to follow. Because you're choosing the wrong crowd. Because you want the riches of this world, when you should be choosing your Father. Keep reading.
Verse 7, do not they blaspheme that worthy name by the which ye are called.
Keep going.
Verse 8, if ye fulfill the royal law according to the scripture, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, ye do well.
Keep going.
Verse 9, but if ye have respect to persons, ye commit sin and are convinced of the law as transgressors.
Understand this, man. If you would choose to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, you would do it. You would just, if you really are a follower of Christ, you would do what he said do. But see, if you respect those people that you put in high places, if you respect those that are wealthy, then what? You're going to do their will. And you're going to feel like the laws are done away with. You're going to feel like, because what is sin? Transgression of the law. You're going to fall into their sin. You're going to do their sin. You're going to do everything that they're doing. Because those are the people that you respect. Those are the people that you want to be like. So when you start acting like them and being like them, then what happens? You transgress the law. You feel like the law is not really for you. You're like, I could do this, but I would make more money doing this. I could go to camp, but if I don't go to camp and I go here, I can make more money. So now all of a sudden you never do the work of the Lord no more. Because everything to you is money, 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 money. You never sit here and come to the high holidays because what? Money, 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 money. You got to choose wisely. You got to understand that everything on this earth, let's see, go to Psalms 106 and 36. Go ahead.
All right, you don't understand that you lose that job anytime. If you don't work the Lord, you get in school. The priesthood ain't got to just leave. This, oh, you got a priesthood. Like, why? Just because you can lose at any time. Now, that job you can lose at any damn time.
Right. You are at-will employees when you're at that job. The same way you got that contract, the same way you can get that pink slip. The same way you felt like you was a private contractor, what happens with contracts?
Oh, yeah, they go up.
They be up.
They get bid on. Somebody else outbids you, and y'all just lose the contract.
There's two things you can do with a contract. You can sign a contract or you can throw one in the trash. You can sign one or you can rip one. It's either way it goes. But see, being a priest, that don't go away unless you walk away from it. Now, if you walk away from being a priest, then that's your choice. That's what you choose to do, which is a very stupid choice, but you know, that's what you choose to do. Let's go to Psalms 106 and 36. Because it's something else that our people do. And this is the craziest things.
This is Psalms, chapter 106, verse 36. And they served their idols, which was a snare unto them.
Keep going.
Verse 37. Yea, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils.
They sacrifice what?
Their sons and their daughters unto devils.
What happened? Most of these celebrities that have been singers and artists or even athletes at a young age, what did their parents do to them? Huh? They sacrificed their children. Why did they sacrifice their children?
So the children don't make money and put money.
Exactly. A lot of people, you know, they feel like what they're doing is helping their child, but really and truthfully, they're hurting their child. Like, let's say, for instance, Aaliyah's parents, right? Everybody knows what happened to Aaliyah, right? Aaliyah was around grown men at the age of what, 15? She was still a child, but was around grown men who preyed on her. It's like they was at an auction block and they were like, oh, I want her. And she was talking to grown men that was well above the age of 21. But what happened? Her people wanted her to be rich. Her people said that, you know, she had a great singing voice. And what did they do? They put her on a pedestal for predators to come get her. What do you think happened to these actors and actresses when they're on Disney Channel and Nickelodeon and all that? Do you know how many stories then came out about these kids dealing with predators and people taking advantage of them when they were child stars? And now they're on drugs because they couldn't deal with the pain and waking up because they have dreams of what happened to them when they were children. All because of what? You want your child to be a what? A star. You're worshiping these idols. You want them to be such on high that what? You'll sacrifice them to devils. You'll leave them to fend for themselves even though they don't even know how to fight yet. Keep reading.
Verse 38. And shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and of their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto idols.
Look, right there. You are shedding innocent blood. Because of what? Because of what? Idols? So you want to worship what? You want to worship all these other guys. You want to worship these people. You want to put all these other things before the Most High. that you are ready to sacrifice your children behind it. Not only are you sacrificing yourself, but you're sacrificing children that don't even have a say-so in it. You want to know what's crazy? Our parents sacrificed us. If you didn't grow up in the I.S.U.P.K, if you didn't grow up in the truth, if you didn't grow up following the law, statutes, and commandments, if you grew up celebrating birthdays, if you grew up and you were taught that it's okay for you to sin because we all fall short of the glory of God, so you don't have to sit here and try to be therefore perfect like your Father in heaven is perfect, you were sacrificed. You want to know why? Because your parents, instead of holding true to what they were supposed to do, they sat here and said it was okay for whatever to happen, and whatever it is, it'll be. They sacrificed you. You want to know why they sacrificed you? Because they were sacrificed first by their parents. And their parents were sacrificed by their other parents. And it's just been a generation on generation of sacrifices. But the generational curse stops here. Choose the Lord. Choose the Most High. Choose doing His work. Choose to keep the oath. And you won't have to worry about that innocent bloodshed of your sons and your daughters, because you are going to do whatever it takes to protect them and make it where they never have to deal with that. They'll never have to deal with predators praying after them like they're on an auction block. Let's drop that. Let's go to Matthew 6:19. Once you got to read for me, Baba Kasha.
This is Matthew chapter 6, verse 19. Lay not up yourselves treasures on the earth, where moths and rust doeth rot, and where thieves break through and steal.
Keep going.
Verse 20. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through.
Understand? Salaka. Understand this, man. This world that we're living in, at any point in time, it can all be destroyed. So stop trying to lay up the treasures of this world that you aren't doing the will of your Father. Like, you have to be a immovable force to be reckoned with for the Lord. You have to be steadfast for the Lord, to do His works, to do His will, so that way the kingdom can come. Not sitting here laying up the treasures of this world. Yeah, you got over $1 trillion in your bank account. You got investment properties, you got stock, you got cars, you got clothes, you got jewelry and all that. But you ain't did nothing for the Lord. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen when the world just goes into utter and total chaos? Whose house you think they're going to first?
Person got all the riches and everything sold up.
Man, I'm telling you, if the world ever goes to the purge, as everybody always say, oh, the purge, you know, we might have a purge. If the world ever goes to the point of there's going to be a purge, or everybody has to fend for themselves, everybody's going to the riches first. They're going to the mansions. Why? Because you probably got all the resources that we need. Don't lay up the treasures of this world. Because the same way moth and rust can come upon your things, it's also a place where people can steal. You make yourself a target by trying to put all the riches of this world and lay them up and put them up in high places for yourself. But if you would do the will of your Father, you got riches that can't nobody touch. You got wealth that will be yours for your everlasting life. But you have to choose that. Understand this. You have to choose one side. You can't serve two masters. Pick a side. And when you choose that side, stand on it. You ain't got too much time. We all seeing what's happening in the governments. We all see what's going on right now. Choose a side. Choose quickly. Because here in the I.S.U.P.K, we chose a side. We chose the Most High God. And we're going to stand on that. We're going to stand on doing his work. We're going to stand on trying to get our people out of this hell and out of darkness. We're going to stand on being a light and showing our people the way that they should go. Now it's time for you to choose what side you want to be on. The side of the Most High or the side of yourself. You can stay being a selfish person. That's what you choose to do. Hey, that's fine. Be selfish. But understand this, if you choose the Most High, you got to be selfless. Life ain't all about you and your wants and what you feel like should happen in the life that you just imagine. This fairy tale world that you thought of, that's not gonna happen. It's about enduring. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and give a courtesy salute to the brother and the sister. I'm gonna say Amajim, which means to stand. Men of Israel, Majim Shabbat, Majim, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Barakatah, Yat Yamatah, Sword, basic sisters, Sister Yeshabia. Men of Israel, Majim Shabbat, Majim, Barak, Yahweh Shemal Shem Yahweh Shah, Yat Yamatah. Class dismissed.